Good evening from the USTA National Campus in Greater Orlando, where we have the final college tennis match of the season in the NCAA. It's the Division III Women's Doubles Championship match between Williams and Tufts. Luke Tanaka with you. Glad to have you alongside as we get set for this 10 o'clock start, as it's been a long day for Elle Christensen of Tufts. Yu Ishikawa and Williams looking to claim a doubles title there, as Ishikawa and the Eefs will be in purple against Tilly Rigby and the Tufts Jumbos, who will be in the white shirts with the blue visor there. And there's Erica Ekstrand, the defending NCAA singles champion, got knocked out of the singles championships this year by that woman right there, Elle Christensen, trying to get a little revenge on the Tufts Jumbo. It's an all-NESCAC battle here in the women's doubles championship match. So Erica Ekstrand and Yu Ishikawa of Williams, Elle Christensen and Tilly Rigby of Tufts. Should be a really great final between two NESCAC foes and teams that haven't faced each other yet, as Christensen and Ishikawa both first years, and the matchup earlier this season in NESCAC play, it was actually Christensen and Rigby knocking off Ishikawa and Zoe Bennett, as Ekstrand didn't play in that match. Ishikawa did. It was 8-2 the final score in that one, but far different with Erica Ekstrand here in the lineup. Of course, Bennett, a very strong player for Williams as well, but we got Ekstrand, and the defending singles champion, and this year a singles semi-finalist, pairing up with Ishikawa to take on this strong Tufts team of Rigby and Christensen. Elle Christensen, already the NCAA singles champion, winning a match that started 10 hours ago at noon here Eastern time, and now Christensen starting the women's doubles final 10 hours later, trying to go twofer here in Orlando, and wouldn't that be quite a feat to win it on the same day? Who knows if the match finishes before the day is up? We don't know that. Could be a very competitive match all around here on a Sunday evening in Orlando. It's pretty breezy right now with the wind blowing towards you on your screen for the most part, and so it should be interesting to see how the wind plays a role in this match. But let's check out Tufts and how they reached the final. It was a 6-1, 6-1 victory in the first round over Daria Beshentseva and Eleni Dakos of Kenyan, and then in the second round, Christensen and Rigby knocked off Anna Cristina Perez and Christina Watson of Emory, 6-1, 7-5. And then in a match that was delayed by lightning after the second set, actually the match moved indoors against the number 2 seed, Shiana Guo and Sylvia Mikos of Chicago. That one 6-7, 6-4, 7-5, a battle that took many hours and a lightning delay and a move indoors for the third set. Rigby and Christensen able to outlast the Chicago pair in that one, and able to make this national championship match, which will start here in just a couple of minutes with the players warming up. And in the near court is Williams. The Eefs reached this national championship match by first taking out Brooke Dispreet and Alice Hall of Swanee, 7-5, 6-1 in the first round a couple of days ago. Then yesterday, knocking off the number 1 overall seed, it was Nigolina Batushvili and Alicia Chulani of CMS, 7-6, 6-2. And then earlier today, the Williams Eefs were able to get off the court before all the lightning delay happened, and they were able to knock off Abby Mogtadir and Lauren Quinn of University of Mary Washington, 6-2, 7-6, in a match where Mary Washington and the Eagles had a few chances in that second set, but Williams was able to force a tiebreaker and then ended up taking the match and booking their spot in the final. And have been sitting around for some time, as Christensen and the Tufts Jumbos had to play that last set indoors, a battle of a third set, 7-5 the victory. And for Christensen, it's been many, many matches played in the last 3 days. 5 singles wins, 3 doubles wins, this her 9th match in the last 3 days. And so we'll see if she's able to cap the final day with yet another big trophy here at the 2022 NCAA Division III Women's Tennis Championships. It's been an outstanding championship week, no doubt. Started with the team event, started at the beginning of the week, and we had the Chicago men winning its first national championship trophy, and then on the other side, on the women's side, it was CMS, the team champions, by a score of 5-1 over Chicago, who was going for the daily double but couldn't get it done, as the CMS Athenas played their best tennis at the end of the season and came out on top in the team championship match. And then earlier today, the singles finals, we already mentioned Elle Christensen. It was a 6-4, 7-5 victory over Angie Zoe of Pomona Pitzer. And then Stan Morris on the men's singles side, able to claim a 5-7, 7-5, 6-2 victory over Vishnu Joshi of Johns Hopkins in what was a heck of a final there. And now getting set to crown a women's doubles champion. But earlier today, the men's doubles championship, James Hopper, John Powell, Case Western Reserve University, 6-4, 6-1, was a dominant display of fundamental doubles for Case Western Reserve over the Emory duo of Andrew Estes and Nolan Shaw. Final preparations getting started, and Tufts has already taken the court here. They'll be in the white shirts with the black shorts. On the opposing side, it'll be Williams in the light purple shirts and the white skirts.
Late night at the campus. First serve between Tufts and Williams. Coming up.
There are a few hardy souls, family and friends, who have stuck around for this national championship match. Hour 10 of tennis action here on the campus starts with Elle Christensen serving for Tufts. That's a good lob to start things off for Christensen. First point to Tufts. Christensen has showed just how relentless she is as a tennis player this week. Really just very, very few moments where you thought the heat that we've been playing through in Orlando is perhaps even playing a role in her mind. Another couple good shots from Christensen off really strong backhands of Erica Ekstrand for Williams. Tough replies from Tufts' first year. .30-love lead for the Jumbos. That one blasted right at Rigby. You can't quite square it up by Ishikawa. Yu Ishikawa hit some really critical shots in the latter stages of that semifinal. Really strong volleys, few drop volleys that were really spectacular. Key moments for the Eefs in advancing to this national championship match. It may be 10 o'clock, but the tennis is already ratcheted up to a high level here in the final. Christensen able to get to that last one. Let's check it out on the replay. Just able to get to that one. Really good on that low volley. And then it's Rigby. Puts the high ball down towards Ishikawa. Very comfortable 81 degrees here in Lake Nona at first serve. Wind's going to blow that one long, and you really saw the first bit of wind playing a role as Rigby thought she had an overhead, and all of a sudden it ended up on her backhand side. She had to play volley. Point continued for Williams, and eventually the Eefs outlast Tufts in that point. Still 40-30, opportunity for game point here in the first game. And it is first game for Tufts. So see how that wind plays a role. It's, again, as I mentioned, blowing for the first time really this week, I would say, just straight along the court as opposed to perpendicular to the court. Certainly will play a role. I think you can see Rigby there, and with that little motion with her hand, I think she said, I thought I had an overhead there, but all of a sudden the ball disappeared on me. So probably reminders from Kate Byard, head coach of Tufts, just to account for the wind being there when playing with the wind. A lot of times trying to use the wind, get a little extra margin on your shots, a little extra top spin to make sure that the ball then falls in the court, and it can make the ball feel even heavier from the other side. And when you're playing against the wind, it can be a time to really go for your shots, really flatten out the ball back through the wind, and have that backstop, as it were, so that you can go for a little bit more on your shots. Erica Ekstrand will be the first to serve for Williams here in a moment. We're just got to collect all the balls. Playing on court 3, right below our broadcast perch, our version of the bunker here at the USTA National Campus. Really good move by Ishikawa, read that very well and executed the volley to perfection. Gotta watch that again. Ekstrand with a strong first serve. Ishikawa saw the strong reply, but then quickly moving right to the middle. Made that volley very easy on herself with her court positioning. Little deep, confirmed by the chair on by Ekstrand. Again, the wind pushing the ball this way. We've seen Ekstrand really lean into those backhands to start this match, and she was doing the same thing in the semifinal earlier today. It's a strong side for Ekstrand on the backhand. Very solid. That was smart from Rigby to play it. Christensen told her to let it bounce, but with Rigby stuck kind of in no man's land, it's an opportunity to take that swing volley. Ended up being a miss. I suppose with the way the wind's blowing, may have been an opportunity to let that ball bounce and see if it would have sailed long. Instead, 30-15 for Williams. That one does drop. Ishikawa, wow. Great job with the overhead, and that ball by Rigby almost dropped. Williams was already celebrating, and that ball was not too far out. Boy, I thought the point was over when Ishikawa hit that overhead, but Rigby did a heck of a job to stab at that one and put it back in the air. The wind almost helped Tufts out to bring it back in the court. Points for 1-all. Ekstrand goes for the big inside-out ball, but Christensen is right there to hit the forehand volley. See Ekstrand try to change up the pattern. Christensen doing a good job of moving towards the middle, trying to cut off some space. Ekstrand thought she could sneak one by, but I think that one was a little too high. Maybe Ekstrand looking for a bit more of a dip. Now 40-30 for Williams here in this game. And it's going to be back to deuce. A much more complicated service game now. Rigby and Christensen able to save a few game points there. Can extend this game longer, make the hold more difficult, more stressful. That time not quite with the overhead. You saw a play there from Williams that I think is going to be one that, oh, now you're going to see interesting. Ishikawa, I think, using the fuzz on the ball to see which way the wind's blowing down there. It looks like not nearly as strong down there as it is up here. But the fuzz did start to blow towards your screen, as you saw there. We'll get to that play in a moment that I was talking about, but first break point for Tufts. Ekstrand with the big inside-in forehand right by Rigby. Solid shot. Let's check it out again. They come off the serve, and notice how she's really close to the middle of the court there, but then takes a step out, and hitting a forehand there gives you the option of hitting that forehand inside in. Of course, backhand down the line, always an option too, but you just want to give yourself as many options as possible on the doubles court. Ishikawa with the good stretch. Tough return from Rigby. Ishikawa with the nice move and the poach. Add in for Williams. I was talking about a play a moment ago, a few points ago, when looked like Ekstrand intentionally used a high ball with lots of spin, with the wind at her back, and trying to use that play in order to then come into the net off of it. That's, I think, a really good play because it's a tough ball to return with a high ball with the spin and the wind. Good eye by Ishikawa there, lets that one go. And Williams does hold for 1-all here in the first set of the women's doubles final. When the wind is blowing strongly, it's not just playing against your opponent, it's also playing against the wind. Or in a sense, trying to use the wind to your advantage as well. Tilly Rigby to serve, the junior from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good first serve from Rigby. Return from Ishikawa clips the tape. Rigby played in the NCAA singles event last season. Actually lost to Erica Ekstrand, as Ekstrand ended up winning the title in 2021 out in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Return sails long, and it's a quick 30-love lead for Tufts here in second service game, first for Rigby. Went 12-6 in singles this season, was a second team All-NESCAC selection. Some good wins over Caitlin Ferrante of Wesleyan, Amy Sway of Amherst. But didn't play in the NCAA second and third rounds in singles, and Tufts ended up getting upset in the third round by Amherst. That one's going to sail long. 40-love lead for Tufts. Christensen finished single season 26-4. it is an easy hold for Tufts. Rigby and Christensen now lead 2-1 on serve here early in the first set. Both of these teams out of Massachusetts, the Eafs out of Williamstown, Williams College, and Tufts University, the Jumbos out of Medford, Massachusetts. All NESCAC battle in the final. Have both coaches on the court. For Williams, in purple shirt, that's Onyx Cepeda. 5th season as Williams head coach, was an assistant under former head coach Allison Swain, who made the jump from Division III Williams to Division I USC out in Southern California. Really some unprecedented success in Division III for the Williams Eafs. 10 team titles, including 6 consecutive titles from 2008 to 2013. Individual champions during that time as well. The last individual doubles champions being Julie Reventos and Julia Cancio back in 2018 out in California. Those championships hosted by Claremont Mutt Scripps. Also, Julie Reventos and Linda Shin back-to-back 2015 and 2016. Williams, a strong women's tennis pedigree. Tufts as well, as a fantastic program for many years. Now it's Ishikawa to serve at 1-2. Opting for the purple visor. A fan of the purple visor. Good first serve from Ishikawa there. Start things off here in this game. It was a complicated hold for Ekstrand on the other side. See what it looks like for Ishikawa. The serve also can be affected by the wind, and again, it's similar to what I was talking about before, where you get a little extra. You put a little extra on those serves when you're serving into the wind like Ishikawa is right now. Second serve upcoming for the first year out of Los Altos, California. Both Ekstrand and Ishikawa coming from California to the Northeast. That time a little wide with the slice. Look to set herself up to chip and charge there. But I wonder if Rigby for Tufts just gave a little bit of a look moving towards the middle. That may have altered Ishikawa's outlook on the slice. Very clean right off the rise, but misses the volley, and Tufts again making a service game complicated for the Eafs. This time 15-30. Ekstrand in the singles tournament got wins over the number 3 seed Maria Liven of Pomona Pitzer in 3 sets, 6-1, 0-6, 6-3. And then Taylor Garcia, 6-love, 6-3 in the second round. Second serve upcoming for Christensen on the return here at 15-30. Oh, good play by Ishikawa. Again, see Williams running around that backhand in order to be able to hit a forehand. Let's see it again. So, again, this was a tougher one to run around for Ishikawa, and she does a really good job with the footwork, getting herself set. No chance for Rigby. Really nice shot by Ishikawa, inside in. The other win, by the way, to finish that thought from earlier for Ekstrand, was Olivia Soffer of Babson. 6-1, 5-7, 6-2 before losing to Christensen of Tufts in the semifinals yesterday. It was a physical affair between the two NESCAC women. Christensen came out on top. That one just a little long on the volley and a breakpoint opportunity for Tufts. They had one in the last service game. Gonna have another one here. Did a really good job against serve against Chicago in the semifinals earlier. Already getting a foothold in the Williams service games. And it is Christensen putting away the ball as Ishikawa opted for the lob. The wind softened that shot a little bit and allowed it to sit for Christensen. Ekstrand had to retreat, and it gave Christensen a lot more open court down the line. Tufts has a 3-1 lead through the first set of servers in the early goings of set number 1 in the women's doubles final. Christensen serving again and inducing the error off of first serve. Christensen this season rounded out singles with a 24-5, that's doubles 24-5 record for the Tufts team. In singles 26-4, which I believe I mentioned earlier, 10-0 against NESCAC competition. I really like that play from Erica Ekstrand. She absolutely laid into that backhand return, saw it, came in and hit the swing volley. Ekstrand has hit some really great backhands early in this match. Perhaps that's an adjustment, because as good as Christensen is from the back of the court and solid with volleys and swing volleys, the serve is a shot you can get to. Oh, good ball from Christensen on a lob. Caught Ishikawa a little bit wrong-footed, just in the wrong place, the wrong time there. In some cases, I imagine with how good Christensen is from the back of the court, the serve may be the best shot you get to be aggressive on in the point if you're Williams. I've been wondering throughout this tournament if I'm going to try to take advantage. Not to say that a lefty serve is ever easy to return, of course. Just a little deep on that return. Ekstrand again looking for the backhand, and that time Rigby and Christensen mixing it up with an I formation to try to take away that cross-court return from Ekstrand, and it worked well. A little bit of consulting in the back of the court from Christensen and Rigby. Look like Christensen leading the conversation and leading that hold on serve. It's been strong for Tufts on serve so far early in the set, and it's a 4-1 lead for the Jumbos here early. Lots of tennis to be played on the Williams side. Plenty of match to go here. Ekstrand on the left, sophomore from Santa Monica, California. Ishikawa, as I mentioned earlier, first year from Los Altos, California. And the teams in that quarterfinal I mentioned against the number 1 seeds, Batushvili and Chulani from CMS. It was a revenge win for Williams after losing 8-7 in the regular season to the CMS pair. Getting set to come out of this changeover, it'll be Williams serving at 1-4. Key service game to keep themselves close in this first set. Williams using the entirety of the changeover there, and a little bit of strategizing perhaps. See if mix up some tactics here. Like I said, I really liked the tactic from Ekstrand of taking that backhand return strong off the Christensen serve and then coming in off it. And there was a nice counter move by Tufts to use the I formation to make Ekstrand think a little bit more about that backhand return. Sometimes the backhand up the line return a little more difficult than the cross-court return, which is one that somebody would hit maybe 80% of the time. Perhaps even more than 80%. Ekstrand serving with the wind, 1-4. Christensen again getting involved to the net nicely. This Tufts team has come out very strong. They're the team that was on the court most recently, finishing the semifinals just before 9 o'clock. That match finished. First two sets were played outdoors, and the last set played indoors here at the USTA National Campus. Yes, there are indoor courts in Florida, and yes, they are needed. I like that play from Ekstrand. Found the ball to be aggressive on. Stepped up, ripped that forehand down the line at Rigby. Unable to handle the volley. Appreciate seeing these players being aggressive when they get the opportunity. It was Christensen's aggression that was really key earlier today in the singles final against Angie Zhou. Second serve, Rigby steps into the court for this return. It was a good serve from Ekstrand that pushed Rigby back a few steps, able to get into the rally, outlast Ekstrand. Now danger time for Williams, 1-4, 15-30. Opportunity for Tufts. Grab a stranglehold of this first set, women's doubles final. Really good hands from Rigby to stay alive in the point. Interesting to watch her retreat there. I was laughing about it a little bit. But hey, worked out for Tufts. Break points upcoming for 5-1 here in the opening set. Rigby on the return. Christensen up a few steps in the middle of the court. And it is Tufts grabbing a second break here in the first set. Up 5-1 in the early going. It's been all Tufts so far in this match. See what Williams is able to do on the returns here. Haven't quite been able to get a foothold in any of Tufts' service games to this point. Deep on the return from Ishikawa, 15-love for Tufts. It's quite interesting, this being my first time experiencing the men's and women's national championships. The difference in atmosphere from very start, 9 a.m. on Monday. The quarterfinals weren't broadcasting, but I was able to attend and just watch the quarterfinals as they were played on the men's side. Now getting to the other bookend of the tournament. All is really calm here, except for the action on the court, as Christensen does another nice move. Sends that volley Let's look at it again as Christensen does a good job moving to the middle of the court. It is, I believe, a go play that they have on. And that ball, an easy pick off for Christensen to put away. 30-love lead for Tufts. Continue some errors for Williams. Inopportune times. They've set themselves up well on the point, but it's been Tufts continuing to put balls in play, staying steady. Williams still knowing early in the match. Positive body language, but now we've got set points for Tufts. Go up 1-0 here quickly in this women's doubles final. It's a good return from Ekstrand. Rigby couldn't quite send that one back. Got to it on the stretch. 2 more set points upcoming. Open court volley for Christensen as Rigby ran that ball down and tossed it up into the air just enough to get Tufts back in the point. And the first set goes to the Jumbos. 6-1. All Tufts early goings. Let's check out that last point one more time. See, this is a really good return from Ishikawa. High and deep, and Rigby tosses one up. Ekstrand gets to it, but both Ishikawa and Ekstrand went for that ball. Ekstrand took it. Rigby and Christensen take the opening set, 6-1. It's the first set that Ekstrand and Ishikawa have lost in these doubles championships. They played a lot of close sets. 7-5 set in the first round, a couple of tie-break sets in the semifinals and the final. But first time they've lost a set. Christensen and Rigby lost the opening set against Chicago earlier today. We'll see how the Eves bounce back from that opening set, what adjustments they may make here. Take a look at some of the stats. Well, one of the ones that jumps out immediately for me is first serve percentage. How about 17 of 20? 85% first serves for Tufts. Outstanding. Leads to 76% of those first serve points won. They've also won all 3 points on the second serve. For Williams, only 48% first serves, and that's led to winning only 50% of those first serve points. So I imagine more first serves. The returns were strong in the early going from both Ishikawa and Ekstrand. You know, with how talented these players are. A lot of fight in the Eves. A lot of fight in the Tufts team as well. So it should be a good match going forward as well. 64% of points won on the second serve receiving by Tufts. Another really key point. So when Williams is missing the first serve, they're having trouble backing that up and winning points. That's part of the reason why Tufts was able to secure those 2 breaks in the opening set. So it'll be Ekstrand to serve to open up this second set, women's doubles final. Oh, that's really good from L. Christensen. Rigby hit a really good shot down the line, pulling Ekstrand wide. Christensen read it, moved to the middle of the court, put away the volley nicely. Love to see those doubles instincts out of first-year players in college. Not always easy, the transition to college doubles. Ekstrand that time down the line. Rigby was there. Missed the volley, 15-all. Ekstrand and Ishikawa, both highly touted recruits, as were Rigby and Christensen. Showing the strength of Division III tennis and in the NESCAC as well. Oh, left that ball vacated as Ishikawa moved to the middle, left the right side of the court vacated, and Rigby saw it. Oh, Ishikawa moving to the middle here. We're going to see it in a moment on the replay. This ball, so Ishikawa moving over. I think assuming Ekstrand is going to cover the other side of the court. Didn't end up happening. Left the court open. Now Ishikawa and Ekstrand opting for I formation. Even a little bit of Australian perhaps on it. Just a step to the left of the tee there, but second serve, back to traditional. Miss from Christensen as Ekstrand just snuck that one inside the line. Good shot from the Williams sophomore. A top 50 recruit and a 5-star in her class. Same with Christensen on the other side. Top 50 recruit. Actually was class of 2019, but reclassified to enter school fall of 21. Again, an overhead. We've seen Ishikawa hit so many good overheads in this tournament. The wind may be messing with that a little bit as that one just kept, the wind kept pushing her back more and more and more. It has died down a bit. Not as strong as it was at the beginning of the match or just before the match. Playing under the lights. Tufts, breakpoint chance. Ooh, it's very close, just missed. Christensen trying to curl that one back in to clip the line. Going for the big forehand on breakpoint. But it's back to deuce. Another breakpoint opportunity coming. Tough ball for Ishikawa there to try to do something with. Smart return there from Tilly Rigby. Put it high to the backhand side. You're going to hit a ball high to the net player. Backhand side is generally a better place to put it. Makes the shot much more complicated for the opponent. Not sure what Rigby and Christensen are communicating about there. Perhaps debating on a cross to try to mix up the pattern of cross court from Ekstrand. And it ends up being Ekstrand conceding into the net, and it is a break in the first game of the second set for Tufts. Starting out strong out of the gate, just like they finished the opening set. All NESCAC first team doubles, Christensen and Rigby. Rigby's battled some injuries this season, but peaking at the right time here at the NCAA Championships. Remember, I mentioned earlier that she was a 2021 qualifier into the NCAA tournament singles last year, reaching the quarterfinals, losing to Ekstrand, but finished last season ranked number 5 nationally in singles, and then seeing Christensen come in as a first year, take over that number 1 spot. Rigby was actually the 2021 NESCAC Rookie of the Year and a first-team All-NESCAC selection in singles, second team in doubles. So Rigby with a strong pedigree. Talked a lot about Christensen throughout this tournament as she made her run to the NCAA singles title. Rigby, very strong player. Junior from Canada, Rookie of the Year because, of course, with the pandemic season in 2020. one just missed wide, confirmed by the chair. 15-love, first point. And those first points have been really key for Tufts. They've been able to have some pretty routine holds throughout this match so far, something that we've not seen a lot on the women's side in this tournament, either singles or doubles. The returners have been so strong. As I mentioned, making a lot of first serves. Tough so far in this match. Oh, Rigby just missed the volley off the tape. Ekstrand went over to cover for Ishikawa, who ran around that backhand way outside the court. Rigby had the open court for the volley and just couldn't quite put it in the open area. Good fight from Williams in that point. Williams opting to play 2 back on the first serve. Oh, there's another big forehand from L. Christensen, inside out. Ishikawa tried to sneak in off that high ball. Christensen was having none of it. 30-15. See, Ishikawa and Ekstrand using a lot of high lobs. Put the ball back in play. We saw L. Christensen do a lot of taking balls early on the rise in the singles final, partially because of the way that Angie Zhu uses the high ball to come in off it. A rare second serve for Tufts, leading in this game 30-15. And that was one where both Ekstrand and Ishikawa said you, and neither of them got there. 40-15 now. The saying goes, down the middle solves the riddle. And it did there for Tufts. Really strong play there from Ishikawa, using a lot of topspin to put that ball over the head of Rigby, forcing Christensen to hit that on the run, unable to make the reply. Still 1 game point for Tufts, trying to consolidate the break from the opening game of the second set. Rigby not quite on the overhead, trying to get her feet behind her. Again, that lob from Williams, just attempting to see how Tufts respond. It seems like it is a bit of a change in tactic, using more lobs, high balls. Back to deuce. Rigby again trying to cross over Ekstrand, putting the backhand towards the middle. Rigby misses the volley. Williams break opportunity to get back on serve. And it is a break for the Eefs. First break of the match for the Eefs. Back on serve, 1 game all. Second set. Wonder if that game will spark a little bit in these Williams tandem. Get some momentum back in their favor. A few less first serves there from Tufts in that first service game. Opened the door for the Eefs. Took advantage and walked right through it. Good 1-2 punch from Ishikawa. Interesting, Williams is opting for 2 back on the serve as well. Ishikawa with a strong serve there out wide. Then able to come in and hit a big forehand to win the point. Ooh, good get there from Christensen on the nice drop volley from Ishikawa. Again, you see Williams this time opting to stay back and instead hit a solid serve and use that first ball instead of hitting a volley to hit a ground stroke down the middle and try to put the back player returner on the run. Another good overhead from Ishikawa. Looks very strong on the overhead. 30-15. Let's check it out again. Strong point from both sides, and Rigby opts for the lob, and Ishikawa very fundamentally strong on the overhead. Seems like when she can get her feet behind it, very consistent on that overhead. Struggled a bit on this side when the wind blew the ball just a bit behind her. 30-15. Oh, how about that shot from Ishikawa? Little cut slice down the line. Rigby not expecting it, and it floats right by her. 40-15 for Williams to take an edge, hold serve, and stay on serve in this second set. Trailing 1-0. Overhead from Christensen, strong, and Ekstrand's reply sails long. You can see Ekstrand, and right now actually you see Kate Bayard and Rigby and Christensen talking about noticing the adjustment from Williams to stay 2 back, and then how do you counteract that? That time you've seen a couple of times Ekstrand, when she's on the ad side, moving over to take forehands instead of Ishikawa taking a backhand. Now Ekstrand comes in with the volley a little long. Tufts back in the service game, back to deuce. Williams outlast Tufts in that point. Good hands by Christensen on the rip by Ekstrand. But Williams strong in that point. It seems that Williams does eventually want to take a ball at the net player if possible, once it's up for him. And how about that play from Yu Ishikawa? Serve and volley, serve and read. Saw that the serve was strong. Let's see it again. He's going to hit a really good first serve here down the tee. Notice that come in, and look at those two volleys. Fundamentally strong, really good step into both volleys. Simple swing, down to the feet of Tilly Rigby. That's some really good doubles from Yu Ishikawa. And so impressed by the first year. Really so impressed by all the players, but when it comes to those fundamental volleys, really strong overheads, Ishikawa has really shown doubles prowess, and now for Tufts, you got to think about, okay, how do we want to adjust to Williams' adjustment? To go two back. It's a strong adjustment from Williams, getting broken in the first game of this set, but then coming back to win the last two games. Back on serve at 2-1. So now it'll be, I believe, Rigby to serve, trying to even this set up at 2 apiece. On serve, early goings, second set. National championship match in women's doubles for Division III. Williams College Eves, Tufts University Jumbos. Ishikawa called Ekstrand off there. Push the lob a little wide. First point Tufts. Really difficult just to make the NCAA Division III Tennis Championship. Only 16 teams make it. Division III is the largest division in the NCAA. In total, over 300 schools. Many, over 200 programs, I believe, in women's tennis. Nice move by Christensen. Easy put away on the strong serve by Rigby. Rigby using that out wide serve. Christensen opting to move across. And when Rigby hits that strong of a serve, that's one as a partner that your eyes just light up when you see that strong out wide serve, knowing how difficult it'd be to put it down the line. Good opportunity to cross. Ishikawa, another beautiful volley. The dropper deadens at the feet of Tufts. 30-15. That time it was Ishikawa crossing over into Ekstrand's side of the court, taking that ball confidently and softly placing it over the net. good ball by Ekstrand on the rise. Fired up. Big high five from Ekstrand and a come on after that shot. Off the return, got a softer reply and saw Christensen backing away. Knew that was a great spot to go to. 30 all, second serve opportunity on the return for Ishikawa. A couple of strong balls down the line in that point. First, it was Williams. Rigby able to get to one, track it down, and eventually it's Christensen on a big 30-all point, giving Tufts a 40-30 edge in this game, putting that backhand down the middle. And it is Tufts who holds for 2-all. Another out wide serve to the Ekstrand backhand. So on serve, 2 games all. It's hit the 11 o'clock hour. Glad you could join us for this final. Tufts came out strong in the opening set, seized control and never let up. Tufts also broke in the first game of the second set, but Williams able to break right back to level things up. Here we are on serve, 2-all in the second. First point of this Williams service game goes to Tufts, as Ishikawa is denied by the net tape. Everybody confirming that ball was out. Second serve. Rigby got just enough of that one. May not have been the cleanest volley she's hit in her career, but when you're on top of the net like that, that's okay. And that's why you'll see Rigby close the net. Ekstrand comes up and Rigby's close enough to the net to the point where he doesn't have to hit it cleanly to hit a winner. Just get a racket on it. Ishikawa strong with the overhead again. Puts it right at Christensen, who's unable to handle it. First point of the game for the Eves, 15-30. That sails long for Ekstrand, and all of a sudden Tufts has break points to go back up a break, like Christensen and Rigby were earlier in the set. 2 points. Break points upcoming. First one will be returned by Rigby with Christensen walking her way towards the net. A lot more confident. You can get a lot closer to the net on first and second serve when the opponent's playing 2 back. See that here from Christensen's court positioning. Williams does find its way into the net, and it's 2 really good shots from Ishikawa. Half volley and volley. You're going to see Ishikawa do a really good job of staying low through this ball. Keep the racket down and keep the racket on the same plane. Keep that racket face open so that the strings are in the strike zone the entire time. Really good job, and then able to put away the volley. Still break point for Tufts. And it's Ekstrand going for the big ball, and a little clap from Rigby. That is an outstanding backhand from Erica Ekstrand. Able to clip the line and curl that one back in. Keeps Williams alive in this game. Saves 2 break points. Oh, Christensen, I think a good move. Not able to execute the volley. Williams staying steady. Seems like perhaps it just took a set for Williams to work their way into the match, and now made a few adjustments that have been very helpful. Did have a long wait to start this final. Oh, good move from Ekstrand. Just got denied by the tape. Williams coming in. Rigby and Christensen outlasting the Williams pair in the point. You can see Williams still wants to come forward. Just doesn't necessarily want to start the point that way. Perhaps just dictating on their terms when they want to come into the net. Oh, Rigby. Really well done tracking down those 3 strong swinging volley backhands. Oh, and it is Rigby's defense that helps Tufts win an outstanding point. Pat on the back and a fist bump. Well deserved. Rigby had to run on the stretch multiple times to retrieve those strong swinging volley backhands from Erica Ekstrand. Another break point for Tufts. And it is Rigby with a volley on the blast header from Ekstrand. Hits the volley cleanly, and it is a break for the Jumbos. 3-2, second set. In addition to the adjustments that Ekstrand and Ishikawa have made, I imagine that, again, just like I mentioned, just working their way into the match, long layover. Ekstrand's played a lot of tennis this week. Neither of these NISCAC teams able to make the team event here in Orlando this week, but both representing their respective schools and squads in the doubles and singles event for both Ekstrand and Christensen. Good back and forth here between Ekstrand on the right, Ishikawa on the left, and Onyx Cepeda, the coach, standing. I always appreciate when it's not just, it's a conversation between coach and player. It's not the coach saying something because she thinks she knows best. An opportunity for the player to talk about what they're feeling and then the coach to provide input. Shows a very strong relationship between coach and player to be able to have those kinds of conversations and potentially disagree, of course. Could happen. That's correct what I said earlier. I believe actually 5 NCAA doubles championships for Williams in the program's history. First point to Tufts, up a set and a break, serving here at 3-2. For Tufts, it would be Jumbo's program's first doubles NCAA championship. Julia Brown won the singles event in 2010, and of course, Elle Christensen, just about 8 hours ago, won, as that one sails a little long. The most recent championship coming just about 8 hours ago here at the USTA National Campus. Christensen defeating Angie Zhou of Mona Pitzer 6-4, 7-5, and Tufts opting to go I formation, 15-all. And the double gives Williams an advantage here in this tough service game. It'll be Ekstrand on the return here. He's hit some really strong backhand returns in this match. Usually been going cross court with those. This time it's a forehand. Finds the line. Goes down the line for that one into the alley. Strong return. Break points for Williams to get back on serve. Again, running around that forehand in order to have extra options. This time it's Ishikawa with the great return. Getting it over Rigby. And it is a break for the Eefs. And we're all tied up at 3-all here. You saw how that, on that last replay, that serve really sat up for Ekstrand right in her strike zone. Went right to her forehand side. Christensen probably trying to get it into the body. There's not quite enough action on the serve to give Ekstrand trouble on that return, and then Ishikawa backing it up with a strong return of her own. So we've traded breaks. Last few games, Ishikawa will serve, trying to snap that streak. That play for Williams has been the shot and type of shot they've wanted to come in on. That time unable to execute. Point for Williams as Ekstrand hits that ball up the middle, and seems like that's one of the adjustments here. So the reason it seems that Williams is playing two back, again, as I mentioned before, trying to come in on their terms, and because of that, the way that they want to come in is to try to put that player that's back in the court at the baseline on the stretch. be able to come in off of that as opposed to coming in off a serve where opponent may not necessarily be on the stretch. We're already starting up at the net on the serve. A little wide. Ishikawa likes that slider out wide. After the double, 15-30. Tufts has really countered that strategy for Williams, not necessarily tactically, but just with their strong ground strokes. In addition to a couple of crosses that have been effective from the net player. That volley put away by Rigby. Ishikawa tried to go high over Rigby, and that one didn't quite make it. Break points for Tufts. Rigby with the easy put away volley. Nicely done. And Tufts does break for 4-3 here in the second set. Good job of retrieving that tough wide serve from Ishikawa. Ishikawa read it well, came in, hit a good first volley, but Tufts staying strong. Lofting that point back, Christensen with some words for Rigby as the two head back to their seat. This 4-3 changeover, so that's 3 consecutive breaks. Tufts was able to go up a break 3-2. Williams bounced right back, and now Tufts edges out ahead once again. You really can't say enough about how wonderful this event has been for players, coaches, staff, broadcast crew, broadcaster. It's been a pleasure to bring this event to you from the USTA National Campus in Orlando throughout this last week. Really lived up to all expectations, competitive standpoint, from a facility standpoint, from a rolling out the red carpet standpoint. Really do feel like this is the pinnacle of Division III tennis, which indeed it is, the national championships. Rigby to serve for Tufts, trying to consolidate the break, put themselves on the brink of a national championship. They'll have to dig out of a hole of 15. Christensen this season, during the regular season, had a win, and Tufts lost to Middlebury 5-4 in the NESCAC semifinals. Also won in the Jumbo's tight 5-4 loss to number 9 Amherst on the road in the NCAA round of 16. Tufts ranked number 6 in the country, 17-4 overall record as a team this season. Rigby and Christensen, big part of the success of the Jumbos. That one does drop just in, but Ishikawa does well with the overhead. Let's check it out again. Ekstrand is going to get a high ball here, take it on up high right at Christensen, who just gets a racket on it. Ishikawa, you notice the footwork right there. The small steps getting to that. Something I've been so impressed with Ishikawa here in this match, those small steps, strong footwork. That one sails just a little bit long. And so from love 30, it's now 15-30, 1 point back for Tufts. Good encouragement from teammates. Ekstrand comes in. It's a long exchange between the two squads, trading blow for blow. Rigby and Tufts outlasting Ekstrand and Williams. Back from love 30 to 30 all. Really good point all around. One of the more physical points we've had so far in this match. Benefit of playing past 11 o'clock heat, not a factor. Oh, that's big from Ekstrand down the line. Christensen tried to move into the middle, and it's Erica Ekstrand with a blast of a backhand. Let's see it again. Long rally. This one, Christensen's going to take one step to the middle, and that's plenty of room for Ekstrand. Just crushed that backhand down the line. Still feeling it. Breakpoint Williams. Tough saves it, back to deuce. And a couple of balls that Christensen's had at the net. Put a strong swing on it, but hasn't been able to quite put it away. Instead of opting to use more angle, opting to hit it back towards Ishikawa that time. That time, really nice adjustment by Christensen. Instead of hitting that hard back to Williams with both players back, opts take a little pace off. Double bounce in front of Williams. And a game point for 6-1, 5-3 for the Jumbos. Just wide from Ekstrand, and it is a hold for Tufts. Oh, that was another well-struck backhand, but it's just a bit wide. And Tufts, one game away from the national championship. And for Christensen, there in your screen, one game away from the daily double. Ekstrand will serve, trying to keep Williams in it. Force Tufts to try to serve it out. First point Williams in this game. as we've gotten to the business end of this second set, the rallies have gotten longer. The level is ratcheting up just a few notches. Oh, what just awesome hitting from these four women. Christensen doing a lovely job using the angle cross court. We gotta see that point again. Those court openers, outstanding. Nishikawa does a good job covering for Ekstrand. And again, another really good angle, and it's Rigby with the overhead to the open court. Best point of the match. Dipper from Rigby puts Tufts just 2 points from the women's doubles championship. Williams opting to come in a little earlier in the point that time. Rigby was able to get a good swing on that pass. That's out. Back to 30 all. And that was the prototypical Williams point we've seen in this match. And you thought it might be the first one that they want to come in on, but it wasn't quite enough on the run for that they had the Tufts player on the defensive. But the second one really put Tufts on the run, and that's the one that Williams wants to come in on. Really nice play from the Eves in a pressure spot. They're going to need some more of that. 30 all, serving at 3-5 in the second. Another good shot from Williams. Using the entire court, putting Tufts on the run. From being down in this game, Williams has come back, I should say, as a game point for 4-5. What a volley by Rigby, her best of the day. Back to deuce. What a great job sticking that volley. We're going to see it again here at this point. Another lengthy exchange. But the way that Rigby stepped into that volley really stuck it to the open court. No chance for Williams. Probably the best volley we've seen Rigby hit so far today. How about to do it? 6-1, 5-3, 40-30. Second serve opportunity for Rigby. Great job by Ishikawa. Really good move to come forward, and then even better to cross. Again, these women saving some of their best volleys for when it matters most. Ishikawa quickly moving across, and again, it's those little steps that are just so impressive. Real attention paid to footwork. Oh, what a get from Ekstrand. Oh, another great point. And again, it's Christensen who just loves that pattern. Forehand angles using the whole court, pulling Erica Ekstrand so wide. Eventually the point does go for Tufts. Back to deuce. Level in this game. I really like that play from Christensen, using that forehand cross court to open up the court as much as possible. Keeping that forehand short in the court too. Pull Ekstrand even further wide. That one misses, and Tufts has championship point. One point away for the Jumbos. Christensen says, right now, right now. And that sails wide, and Elle Christensen and Tilly Rigby are your 2022 NCAA Division III Women's Doubles Champions. Arm in arm to the net. A lot of respect between these competitors.
Your 2022 NCAA Division III Women's Doubles.
And it's a celebration late in the evening here on Sunday.
Erica Ekstrand and Yui Ishikawa from Williams.
And an applause for Ishikawa and Ekstrand as well, who had a fantastic season. And how about Kate Bayard showing the excitement, coach?
Amazing performances all
Just
around.
outstanding doubles played by Tufts here today. Took advantage early, really dominated that first set, and then got a real push from these two Eefs, Ekstrand and Ishikawa. got pushed in that second set. Good adjustments made by Williams in that match and really showed their strength as a team, and celebration continues out behind the court. Celebration of 4. Tufts University, L. Christensen's coming home with a couple of trophies. You have to buy a bigger trophy case. Singles and doubles champion. She goes 2 for here. Outstanding performance from Christensen all week. 5 singles matches, 4 doubles matches, 9-0 this week. I have the trophy presentation here in just a moment. As Tufts University. Christensen still has enough energy after 9 matches to pick up her teammate Tilly Rigby. That's pretty cool. Tell bond between those two. And again, Rigby struggling with injuries this season. Eventually had to step out of the number 1 spot in order to make room for Christensen to play that number 1 spot. And that takes a lot for a player. Rigby embraced the process, and here she is, NCAA Women's Doubles Champion. Such a wonderful moment for those two. Wonderful moment for Coach Bayard. Tufts' first doubles championship in program history. As I mentioned, now 2 NCAA singles champions, Julia Brown in 2010 and Elle Christensen 9 hours ago, 2022. Can't say enough about Erica Ekstrand and Yu Ishikawa as well. Team finishes with a strong run, knocking off the number 1 overall seed in this event in the quarterfinals. Moving all the way to the final. But in the end, it was just too much. Tufts University in this one. Christensen and Rigby finished with an overall record of 25-5 as a pair. Won the fall regional. They've had some success in the fall as well, and then also this, obviously, lots of success here in the spring. Trophy presentation has begun, and we'll get a nice applause from everybody still remaining here at the USTA National Campus.
We'd like to thank our host, the USTA Local Authority and the Greater Orlando Sports Commission for their partnership, commitment, and success.
Approaching midnight here in Orlando. It's been such an incredible day of tennis all around. It's been an incredible week of tennis, really. Starting on Monday,
Runner-up team from Williams, Erica Ekstrand,
all the way through Sunday, as Ishikawa and Ekstrand receive their trophies. Huge congratulations to these two. What a wonderful season and a wonderful run to the championship match it was for those two. Ekstrand already with an NCAA singles title from last year as a first year. Remember, Ishikawa on the left and Ekstrand on the right, first year sophomore. On the other side, Tilly Rigby Jr., Elle Christensen as a freshman, and so to have these 4 players will be around for another year to battle it out, and perhaps many years to come. Some outstanding battles to come. We saw an incredible singles battle yesterday between Ekstrand and Christensen. Certainly many more to come between these two. These 4.
Elle Christensen and Tilly Rigby.
Christensen and Rigby receiving their trophies. Big smiles. What a feeling it must be. National champions. Bringing those trophies back to Medford, Massachusetts. Got to get Coach in there as well, and Coach is Wonderful scenes here at the USTA National Campus as we round out an outstanding week. Wonderful performances all around, and from players all week. We've seen so much great tennis here at the NCAA Division III Men's and Women's Tennis Championships, and want to send a huge shout out to our production crew, producer David Harris, director Chris Capper, Matt Mitchell on replay, Travis McGinnis, Trey Jarvis on the cameras. Just wonderful work from our entire crew all week long. I'm Luke Tanaka signing off as we complete the college tennis season in the NCAA for 2021-22. Elle Christensen, Tilly Rigby, champions of women's doubles in Division III this season. So glad you could join us all week, and we hope you join us next year for the championships as well. And be sure to check out in the fall as the tennis season gets back going again. But until then, enjoy your summer and enjoy the rest of your evening.